special edition on the verge of Halloween. Dead Meat turns live again tonight. How to trade BYD, guys. Opposite to the contrary belief. I'm going to say this cuss word one more time. We're buying BYD calls. Now, we actually predicted the ultimate top in BYD shares at $230 a share 2 months ago. Exactly. The video is posted on the channel. Review it for all the reasons why we said the stock was heading to 150 and ultimately substantially low to a level of 100 and under 100. But in this video, we're going to show you specifically why it is time to buy BYD calls. Damn it. Now, I am a bear, but at times it makes sense to be a bull, and this is one of those times. So, BYD is down 58% since we've nailed the top. Now, it's been building out this nice head and shoulder pattern. Been side trending here for some time. From 160 bucks, recently very sharp, nice move lower all the way to just under 100 bucks. Currently, the stock is trading about 100 as I'm recording this. We think there's about $20, $30 upside the day it reports earnings tonight on October the 28th. Now, don't get me wrong, we're still overall bearish on the stock, but we think the ultimate move in the near future tonight, tomorrow, is going to be higher. But do not overstay your welcome and lock in gains once it pops, once it bounces. You want to short that bounce. So here it is. Without any further ado, this stock portrayed on the daily chart, nice head and shoulder formation here. Now you have to go back into history and understand why this level is so important. This is a level where actually the stock has taken off. This is where everybody's been shorting it, and then when it reported earnings, the earnings were actually good and it shot up to like 130 bucks. We think it's going to repeat that move again. As far as the chart concerned, as you can see, there was a lot of volume going into this stock right around these levels. So these people are likely to support this level around $100 here. So that's point number one. Point number two is the gap is closed now. So it's actually safe to come in and buy this thing. Okay? It's hugely oversold when it comes to your RSI. It's definitely hugely oversold. Actually, it's never had an RSI rating of 23 before. So this actually creates a good opportunity to come in and buy. Now, recently, we've had some nice developments on accumulation distribution. It's been kind of flat, but we do have a renewed interest in the stock. Now, the importance of that observation is, why would somebody be interested in buying the stock while it continues to drop, knowing that the lockup expiration is going to hit this thing tomorrow on the 29th? Now, everybody in the world is convinced that this thing is going lower. Now, it's also important to understand that as everybody believes that the lockup expiration will flood this poor little thing with a ton of sellers tomorrow, it's also important to understand and analyze the history of such flyers like BYD and see what they have actually done at the lockup expiration. That's exactly what we're going to show you in this video. For now, I just want you to consider this. Remember a simple trading strategy. Short at the top. When we pointed out it was time to short this thing at 230 bucks, nobody wanted to hear it because everybody and their mother-in-law was highly bullish on this thing and everybody was upgrading the stock. So now everybody wants to be bearish when the stock is actually down 58%. Now this is actually the worst time to short BYD, exactly when it's down after a head and shoulder formation, dropping recently from 160 to just under 100 bucks, 96, 98 level. So remember this, as a short seller, you want to short the tops, not at bottoms that coincide with substantial levels or where people are committing substantial capital around 100 bucks. So not to say, again, that we're not bearish on the stock. We informed you 2 months ago to short this thing. And we will inform you again when it's time to short it again. And it's likely to be tomorrow or the next day when it tops out on the bounce. That's when you want to come in, and that's where you want to buy puts. Now, understand this. Those people that are telling you that stocks drop at lockup expirations, they're just dead wrong. It's just like saying when a company reports bad earnings, it's supposed to drop. Well, recent history especially of what we call a very neat pattern, miss and squeeze the short sellers, okay, shows that many companies that are announcing earnings misses or bad earnings actually move higher. And how many times have you bought some options and expectations of great earnings, and earnings indeed were great, you were right, but the stock dropped? So hopefully you understand this analogy. You've been trading for some time, you should understand this analogy. Basically, it's not about what everybody expects, but rather the true reaction to a particular event that happens. So that's where options trading gets really juicy and interesting, because if you can foresee these reactions, that's when you actually stand a chance to make substantial profits. In this case, as everybody's betting that Bynd is going to drop, well, everybody's convinced, no shit, the stock is down 58% since we suggested buying puts on this thing. So now they want to buy puts. I mean, it's just like the same thing when we said, short Apple last year when it was at 220 and we rolled it all the way down to 140. And then we said buy the calls and nobody wanted to listen. If you look at the percentages, it's about the same. Okay, Apple dropped from 220 all the way down to 140 bucks. Guys, that's roughly, closer up there, 30-40%. Now, what a coincidence. Same people that were saying CMG was going to 1,000 are saying that poor little Bynd here, little fake meat won't hurt nobody. Come on, Jim Cramer. I guess it's okay for Jim Cramer to be wrong, but everybody notices when I get a few trades wrong. Guys, you should understand, I don't get every trade right, but I am more often right than wrong. Now, clearly, if the charts show me that a particular event is going to happen, I follow my 13 markets move formula, and I stay with it. I don't pay attention to the news. I don't pay attention to what other people are saying, okay? And that helps me nail some of the greatest trades out there, okay? Now, if you're interested in making 10, 11%, then hey, do your thing. But this is a channel for those that want to profit 4, 5, 6, 7, 800%. And this particular trade on Bynd, is everybody's freaking bearish, presents an opportunity for one of the greatest squeezes, short squeezes that is, of all times, one more time. So with that said, you should know something about these lockup expirations, guys. Some of the high flyer names, like GoPro, back in the day, after the lockup expiration, contrary to the general belief, the stock moves from 40 bucks all the way to 96. And yes, we did nail the top at GoPro at 96 bucks and rolled it all the way back down to 40. Now the stock is at 5 bucks. More recent example, TLRY. We did nail the top in this one as well at 290 bucks. TLRY shares actually jumped more than 30% after the lockup expiration. And we did accurately predict that TLRY was going to drop all the way from 300 all the way down. I mean, down, under 100 bucks. It's currently trading at 20. Guys, opportunities like this don't come often. Just understand, just because everybody's talking about it, that the shit is supposed to drop, sometimes this creates some of the best opportunities. Now, this is what they are not talking about, is what if a surprise profit numbers are going to be reported tonight? And what if there's actual announcement that will come out that somebody like Coke or Tyson Foods bought a 10% stake in the company or something along those lines? That would actually position the stock easily for a 20-30% pop from here. So from 100, we're targeting $120, $130 target price. Possibility of hitting 133, 135 area. So basically, if such news do hit the stock after hours, this is what you should expect. You basically want to buy calls right now at about 100. Well, the stock is trading at 100 as I'm recording this. It bounces anywhere to the area of 115, 130. You collect gains. You reverse the trade. You short it. Because this bounce is not going to be lived forever. There's going to be plenty of people who are going to want to sell the stock. Now, clearly you want to stair step, because this thing on the short squeeze could easily hit a level of 135. So understand these levels, target them, manage your trade. And when you reverse the trade, don't expect all of a sudden the sharp drop. A sharp drop could happen, okay? But it could trend sideways for a day or two. Basically, what I'm trying to say, when you're buying puts on the bounce, give yourself a little bit of an extra time because it could take a couple of weeks for the stock to actually drop. Now, in some instances, these drops, they do happen rather rapidly. They stall, they go sideways, they drop some more. So in this type of scenario, make sure you're not buying puts that expire this particular week, but give yourself a little extra time. So there it is, guys. Nice and easy. BYND, 100, 110, 120 calls. But don't be the last one to leave the party on the bounce. Trade like a rock star. I'll catch you guys on the next trade soon.